The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root cause of their health issues and create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, cure, prevent, treat, diagnose any conditions or diseases. I simply reduce symptoms so that your body's more efficient and you'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life a lot more. Is intermittent fasting a fad? No, it's not. It's probably because it works. And intermittent fasting gives you mental clarity, repairs cells, and uplifts your mood. Life has the intermittent fasting program that does all that and gets your cells and body humming, and in turn boosts your metabolism. It has rich, high-dense nutrition and nutrients and a program behind it with exercises and recipes. It's composed of a natural part of all my programs, and it can be easily done by itself. You can reach out to me for its details and my coaching programs at my complimentary consultation button of my link tree, which is at Debi Changes Lives. It's just DEBICHANGES LIV is in Victor ES.com. /Linktree, LINKTREE. And I'll fill you in. Now, as a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's health in different areas of health. And I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality nutrients. My coaching helps you optimize your health, efficiently release weight, and enhance your mindset. You'll see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. With my mindset coaching, I want to let you know that everybody has their own unique fingerprint, so to speak, of their core beliefs. And it stems from their childhood and traumatic events that they had. And you need to learn to rewire your brain if you want to move forward from your traumatic events. Your words, thoughts, feelings, emotions are all part of it. Fear, frustration, and doubt are low vibrational energies that will slow you down, even stop you. And like a hot air balloon that has balances, it will not float up. So it's important to release that emotional ballast so you can move forward. And I have ways of helping you. Not only will you revitalize your health, but you'll also find purpose and passion and be able to live your life fully. And that's where I and Jean-Luc come in. Jean-Luc is a transformational coach as well as a spiritual coach. From being a construction manager, he spent 30 years working on himself. He became a Reiki master, Akashic Records 1 and 2 reader, past life aggression coach, and many other certifications. His methods of meditation help manage thoughts, and he works with the power of words, just to name a few. He survived a cancer adventure in 2017 that proved to himself that what he learned was working. He retired from construction and became a spiritual guide and coach. So today we'll be talking about purpose and passion and ways to find them. So let's welcome Jean-Luc Allaire, a transformational and spiritual coach. Jean-Luc, welcome to my show.
Thanks, Debbie. Glad to be here. Happy to be here.
Oh, good. So it's interesting. We kind of do things in different ways, but I want to, go with our first topic. And I'm going to say, I truly believe that I was put on this world, or people are put on this world for intentional purpose. And we need to be in tune to ourselves of what we want. When someone finds their passion, their soul drives them to succeed, to attain it. And for you, what does purpose and passion mean to you?
Well, the thing is, when I start working with people, so most of my people are women over 40 that's kind of stuck in the groundhog day. They have the kids, the career, the partner. So every day's the same routine, and the weekend, then you have to do all the cleaning, the groceries. So they kind of lost their purpose. They're kind of wondering, is that all there is, right? And then when we
Mhm.
come in there, I come in there. So a lot of things you got to remember, passion is not one passion because you got to divide your life into section, right? You got your career, you got your family, you got your health, you got your spiritual, and all the external stuff. Then but the thing is, our age, which I won't say, people can guess. In old days, you had to become a doctor or a lawyer, and some people took it to heart. So the passion was not theirs; was the parents, and or you can have the sibling affect you. Like if I have older sibling that are doing great, or the worst is the worst, the more affected is when you go to teenage and all the peer pressure, and then you always get those friends that are so cool and they're passionate about something, and you take it on. But by the time you turn 40 or even in the 30s, they're not yours. And now suddenly
Exactly.
you know what's going on, right? And that's
Yes.
when I come in, and then we start going back in time, and from there coming back and find what's yours, and take off what's not yours. And a lot of times there's be limiting belief we deal with. But by the time we got that sorted out, then we can start planning your life the way you're passionate about, the way that is going to take away procrastination and do the step, like the extra step, and your heart flutter when you want to do things that you'll know they're yours, right? And then we also find the other one you find as adults, and
Yeah.
it's just so powerful. I see when they finally get it and it's theirs, how powerful it gets in applying that to their life to create that vision. That's the
Mhm.
anchors that you have, right? So in my thing, I use the pyramid because the foundation, the bottom is passion. You
Yes.
create the foundation, strong foundation, everything else adds up to create the pyramid that I show in my classes.
Yes. And yeah, and a lot of people when they get into being complacent and they're not exactly what they're supposed to do in life, they kind of lose themselves. And in life, I found that when I started, changing what I did and I started transforming, I released 70 pounds and kept it off for over 10 years. And also became a half marathon runner. It made me really realize that anything is possible no matter what. And you just, and when something like that, when you have a grand transformation like that, and you've also had a health challenge too, that was a grand transformation for you too. It just kind of wakes you up to realize, yeah, there's more to life than what we do. And, it's important to have variety in our life. It's important to really have life in our life and the passion to do things that we want to do and move forward on things. And I completely agree with you with everything that you said because it's just not one form of life. That's just health. It's your family life. It's your business life. It's your spiritual life, financial, and everything else. And I call it the wheel of life. So anyways, but it's interesting that we have commonalities in that way.
Yeah, it's very strong because a lot of time I use the four pillars, sometimes five, depending what I'm dealing with. But like you got your spiritual, which is all internal, your family stuff external, your health, and your career. So if you have the four pillars strong and one of them
Mhm.
falls, you still got three. But if you only have one, like if you concentrate on just work, which I did for a long time, and that goes away, then you have problems. But if all of them are strong, like if you have a strong family, you lose your job. Well, you're not falling apart and getting depressed. Like you're supported and look for another job. But yeah, it's very important to really build those into place to support.
Yeah, so it's really important to have a firm table. So if you want to lose one leg, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that's really true. So you work with mostly women then. Do you work with
Yeah.
men too?
Men, I work with some men. I do different things with men, but they're a little bit harder to bring on board. And being from the construction world, it's more mental work, like like university style mind, uh, and
And
it,
analytical.
totally intellectual. And I
Mhm.
can do that because I am intellectual because I learned stuff, but the spirituality sometimes doesn't connect with them right away. Women
Mhm.
have most women have more spiritual side to them, so it's easier for me to get the concept and move along, even though a lot of it is intellectual because that's the world I come from. When I explain things like healing, for example, like when I was young, Louise A was the first one I worked with, but I went a lot further in healing. That's why when I went through the cancer adventure, I had the tools to deal with it and refused to do a thing with that they wanted to do to me. But
Mhm.
when you try to explain that, you got to use the intellect, right? So every businessman you talk to, you say, well, if you work a lot, you're stressed and you got a lot of things. Would you get ulcers? And most of them will say yes. Well, there we go. We got you at 5%. Now let's keep talking, right? And then they start to understand that emotion affect you. So I like what you said when you started, that you cannot claim of healing. But the thing is, when we work with, like, especially, I always refer to Louise Hay because everybody knows her. I'm not going to use the other name I work with. They're less known, but more powerful because we go in detail. Is when you find the emotion that affected you, then it's easier to heal it. But to
Yeah.
bring that in, to get the men to go in and look at some emotion, it's easier with women. So mostly work with women, and a lot of husbands will ask, what did he say? What did he say? Well, the wife will will share what she learns, but it's so powerful to say that the emotion will heal you when you find which emotion is affecting you. Like when
Exactly. And it's really important to release those emotions because even in our daily world, we cannot control what's happening around us. We can only control what we react to. And it's important to be more proactive than reactive because reactive is going to create emotion and create stress and everything else. So, and at first, when something kind of bubbles up, that emotion pops up. You're like, whoa, okay, I need to work on this.
Yeah, I call them gift triggers. So when we start doing the work, you start to understand that when you get triggered, like being French Canadian. So I know you're from California, but any Canadian would know what I mean about French Canadian from Quebec. In the years past, now the kids are different now. We were known to be bad tempered because French was surrounded by the English, right? Conquered by the English, but the French people always had to kind of stand up for themselves. So it's a long story, but we were known to a bad temper. So I grew up. My father with 9 brothers, so that's what I grew up with. And yeah, so if you have a fight, there was no talk about emotion. It's fisticuff, first one to bleed, stop everything, and then we're done, right?
Wow.
That's how you deal with stuff. There was no emotion involved, and so that's where I came from. So there was a lot of work to be done, but it's interesting how it affects the rest of your life. When you can't express emotion, then anger comes out. Now, when you start dealing with this, and you think you're doing good, and all of a sudden you get triggered, then you have to work on something. So I call them gifts, which when you're not there yet and you get mad easy and you just lose it, it's a lot harder. But once you've done a lot of work and you think you're doing fine, I still get triggered. My bigger trigger for me is when somebody knock at my door when I'm watching TV or cooking or something. Why they knock on my door, especially the old style of, I won't name them, but they go to every houses every once in a while, knock on doors. So then I know I have to work on that. Driving, I used to be a bad, like really angry driver. Somebody was cutting me off in that. But with the tools, you just, now we make stories. And I love when I have somebody on me because we can make all kinds of stories. Somebody cuts you off or going fast or driving crazy. You can make up all kinds of story and laugh your head off instead of getting mad and honking and whatever you're going to used to do. So it changes when you deal with, why am I angry? Why am I reacting? But the thing is, to know that you're healing, you have to be triggered,
Yes.
because now things that happen like that, I get cut off. There's no more trigger. I've dealt with it, but a lot of things in my life, right? When people, like, you can name 100 things that would get you mad, which one are triggered today, and then deal with them. And then,
Yes. And men tend to get angry, like you said, and their anger is it's kind of harsh. Sorry.
well, it's a little boy, right? So the little boy throwing tantrums, and
Yeah,
that's what I
exactly.
and that's what
Exactly.
I deal with the different personality that's inside of a different hat. So depending on what I'm talking to, I'd use the hat, because construction, everybody wears a ball cap, because at the end of the day, you wear a hard hat, your hair is a mess, and then you ball cap. So And then the personality is like, you got the little boy in you, you have the adult, you got the dad, you got the lover, you got, so which hat are you wearing right now? Like when you get home, like I was a manager, so when you get home, you have to take that off because you're going to try to manage. And all my partner I had, they always had strong wills. Like they would stand like, I'm not your employee, like back off. So you have to switch. But a lot of time we don't switch on time. And then I have my grandkids come around. I'm grandpa now. I'm not their dad. So grandpa spoils. Grandpa doesn't have to give all the rules. It's like, so you keep switching hats and people don't remember to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the boss right now. I'm at home. I'm being told what to do. It's like even though at home, at work, I'm the boss. So
Yeah.
it's fun when you start realizing and be aware what personality is coming out now. It's like we don't have just one because we have all this inside. When you go for ice cream, it's a little kid in you that loves that ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
right? And me and my buddy used to call me motorbike when he put his kid to bed and say, hey, let's go for ice cream. So we'll get letters, jacket, and helmet, and motorbike. We'd go and sit on the sidewalk with the ice creams, like two little 5-year-old, like with the body of the biker is like. But that's the personality. You get on the bike, you're the biker. But then you get to the ice cream, then all of a sudden you're a little 5-year boy, even though you're still dressed as a biker. And that's what you have to enjoy, like be in the moment and enjoy the personality that you are right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I always I help my clients to be aware of their emotions, and I actually use the old stop sign. Just have them look at it so they can work on it and release it, and that's what helps them. But it's your idea of having that little characteristic of a little boy or a little girl, or wearing different hats is fantastic. I love it. I just love it. Now you also we both kind of agree on this too. Words are really important, and they do impact your belief system, and they can bring out emotions as well. I was taught NLP, and I really, understand how powerful words can be. And for instance, I use weight release versus weight loss because you don't want to you don't want to regain your weight, right? You released it and it's gone. And so, what is your meaning when you are using the power of the word?
Power the word. One thing when we started managing your thought, when you try to stop the wheel, well, people say, well, you can think of, depending on who you talk to, there's 60,000 to 120,000 thoughts a day, right? And
Yes.
they roll. You can't stop that. But managing it is to know what you're thinking. So the words will reflect what's in your head. That's one thing. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you speak, you got to remember to create, right? So
Yes.
so when we start teaching people, be careful, the negative doesn't exist, and you got to make sure it's creative. I don't use the word positive because I'm OCD a bit, so negative has to be positive, but constructive doesn't have to be. When I construct something, it's still there. So I use the word constructive, and it's very important to keep using that. But the problem is when you start working on saying the right words, like not using the the bad words. When people around you learn this, they call on you. I was talking to my coach, which is the healer coach that wrote the books I work with, and he caught me because I usually talk about the cancer adventure, their cancer, but I slipped and I said my cancer. It's okay. Stop there. Do you still want that cancer? I said, no. Why do you say my? Uh, okay, I slipped. And it's nice when we learn that, but it's nice to have people around you, and that's why I do accountability groups that we can share. And but when other people know all this, they'll catch you, and at first it gets annoying because they correct you, but then you start to realize you need that support, that accountability to make sure the words are. So it's not my cancer. It was a cancer. I went through it. It's gone. It's fine, right? But then I have a friend that the girl, his daughter's asking me, "What did you do to my dad?" Like I still work with a lot of friends and stuff. He doesn't swear as much. His construction guy used to swear so much, and all of a sudden he's not swearing as much because now he understands power of the word. His stories, he tells a lot of stories. His stories still got a lot of swear words because they're stories, but his regular talk has slowed down, and the girls are shocked. What did you do to my dad? Well, when you start to realize the word, the power of the word, and what's in your head, it don't match all the time, because a lot of time we take shortcut by swearing. Like I used to say things when, and then my coaches stopped me. It's like, explain. You take shortcut. So in the case of F word, there's a good story about why using F word, like it's so easy and this and that. But then it's not what you want to say. Like E start realize what you want to say was not bad. So now take that word out and start replacing by exactly what's in your head, what you want to say. But what he realized at the time is that he was trying to talk too fast to explain something, and he would use all those F bombs to use them as adjective and verbs and names, like, but that's not what he meant. So then you start changing that, which was not easy, but it's shocking for everybody who's known him his whole life.
Yes.
That is so funny, right? But that's how we realize power of the word. And then in the New Testament, at the beginning, it says, like, for people who are Christian, I deal with all the religion, but this one says, in the beginning, there was the word was with God, and God was the word. It just kind of show the power that comes out of our mouth, and that the power to affect, especially kids or other people, by negative things or things you don't mean to say, and then would affect the person you're talking to without even realizing what you've done, because the words are so powerful at the time.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are. And sometimes people use certain words just to get attention, or at least, as a shock factor. And those certain words are just not necessary.
No.
They really aren't. And it was all started by, Richard Pryor. I'm sorry. Oh boy, I just showed my age, didn't I?
Yeah.
But I just they are a waste of time in a way, and you got to treasure every moment of your life, and don't use those words, and they will take it, even though they'll like deflate you like a balloon.
Yeah.
If
you look up to somebody, when you look up to somebody and all of a sudden they'll say something negative or just bad to you, you just like go down like a little 3-year-old that just got spanked, right? You're just like, man, that hurts more than if you would just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And then people realize, so you have to pay attention when you talk to, especially to kids. They'll react right away.
Yeah, and for people that are sensitive, they have to put up boundaries and let things roll off their back as best they can. It's like that. It's kind of like what I said before. You can't control other people or other things that are happening in your life. You can only control how you react to it. So, it's something that people need to work on with their language, and also their language will help them propel them forward when it's more in a positive way, or it relates to them better, because everybody thinks in a different way. And everybody has their own thoughts, connections to things. So it's like working with them depending on how they want to operate. Some people are very, what I call digital. Some people are, people pleasers, and some people are, they're just different type of people. People pleasers are usually more emotional. So that's important to know.
It's very important. Like our age group, like raised in the 60s, 70s, 80s, nobody was aware of that. It was terrible, some things that were said and something you're done, but that was the way it was learned. But now we know better. And I look at my grandkids are all teenage now. I got 5 of them, and my daughter, I look at my daughter, the way she interacts with her kids is just amazing, because they'll have to express, if there's a fight, if there's argument, they get to sit down and express why they did what they did, or what they say, or even just talking in general. Is like, I'm amazed of the stuff that the way she handles them and the way they express themselves. Like, growing up, I never had that. Right?
Yes.
It never. It's like, I won't repeat the things that were said, but that's why we were outside in our home. We're never in the house.
But you taught her, and it's really great that you brought that forward in your life and kind of shifted the wave of the tide, so to speak, to a positive route. So kudos to you. You should be very proud of yourself. Now, you have a 8-week program that help people. What does your clients learn from these 8 weeks, and what do you exactly do?
Well, we talked a bit about the passion. That's the first thing we do, right? We just have to sort that out. And then from there, managing your thoughts is very important with the power of the word. And then we do a lot of reprogramming. After we deal with the limiting belief, we do a lot about reprogramming. I got 21-day reprogramming we do. And it's basically all the basis, the foundation of law of attraction. Like, when you watch A Secret, they tell you everything's possible, show you a beautiful picture, but how do I do it? And that's what we learn. So, and then we'll go further depending where they're at, because I use all different religion. Like, in the Christian world, I got a lot of angels and stuff. I do native, which animals, which I can use in the different religions. I've learned a lot of religions. So I adapt the intellectual and then move slowly to the spiritual world to understand energy. Like law of attraction is about attracting energy. And I'd say there's a lot more to this. Like I just go, it depends how far they are. I can go a lot deeper because I also deal with death. Like when I went through a cancer adventure, I was able to do right decision because I had no fear of death, because I used to help people cross over. I did so many things that I can't even name them here, but it took away that fear. So having no fear of death, I was able to make the right decision when they wanted to remove my bladder. I said no. And the doctor was shocked, but I told him, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not suicidal, but I'd love to live to be 125, but nobody will change my diaper, right? So it's quality over quantity, because I know what's on the other side. Working with a Akashic record, working with the past life regression, kind of, and a different religion, kind of give you that strength that my grandmother had as a Christian, because in those days, you saw a lot of death, right? Because in the 40s and 50s, there was not the medical that we have today, and it was a big family. But so at the end, you learn that you are the master of your life. You can attract anything you want. There's no more victim. And then we deal with other stuff. So in 8 weeks, we do a lot of stuff. So to me, in 8 weeks, there's enough to get you going. And there's a guarantee in there that I put when I explain the thing. And then this will be a jump to my 1-year program, which will go accountability and go a lot further if people really want to go in deep. But the 8-week alone can change your life, change a lot of stuff.
That's fabulous. That sounds like a wonderful program. And, I kind of look, when people are, trying to find out what they want to do, I have them do a homework assignment where they look at things that are, the good traits in their life. They look at things that are, the way they were brought up, and be aware what was going on, what they brought up. And because, if they have a skill they really like, then, take on that skill in some aspect of their life. And they can find, now, for instance, I'm more of a creative type. I used to be a video producer at one time. I did computer animation and things like that. I used to train people on video equipment and dealt with a lot of grumpy men. But anyways, I had to put that aside for, because I had to take care of my mom and my son. But my whole point is that I kept into the creative side of me. I was creative as a child, very creative as a child, and doing different type of things. I created a puppet show with puppets and everything else, the backdrop, the script. So I've always been a creative person. So when you have a certain skill, you want to delve into that somehow and express it in different ways.
Yeah.
So when I find somebody like that has a certain skill, you can express it in different ways.
Yes.
And they will find something they're very passionate about. And it's interesting how my life went, through these journeys and hoops and things like that. And I became very passionate after my health, transformation, of helping others, because it was really something that meant a lot to me. So I kind of took the left turn, or maybe the right turn, it depends on if you're left-handed or right-handed, whatever. But, and I completely, came out on a different path. And people can always change what they do in life. If they really don't love their job, if they don't love what's going on in the relationship, figure it out. If you can fix that relationship, do so. There's a reason why the two met and got together. But if you can't, then leave on good terms, especially if you have children, And if you don't like that job, you don't like that 9-to-5 job, and you want to do something on your own, then do that. But find something that works for you. And that's what I do with my clients. So
Yeah, to me, it's part of the vision, right? So you don't just quit your job like I want.
No.
So we make a plan, right? And a lot of time, it's not the job that's the problem. There's other things behind it, right?
Yes.
And okay, now let's make a plan here for a 5-year to a 10-year. Usually, I end up with a 10-year vision. Create an anchor to really get you there, and really, when things go rough, then you have that anchor to keep you going, to pull you to the future. But it's nice to have a plan and start to understand what is it you want, and you got to work for it. And
Yes.
and the thing to me, my client, is about themselves first. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the relationship. You got to fix yourself, and maybe you're the problem.
Yes, exactly. You got to work on yourself, and that's what
Once
I had to do.
yeah, and then your health, your mind, your set, and everything, and then you can make right decision. But until then, you got to fix you, right? And
Yes.
I love doing that.
And with life, it's so important to grow and learn different things. I mean, I kept on doing this, that. You did a lot more than I did back then. But my whole point is I was always taking some kind of training. Oh, this sounds really interesting. Boom. and so, but I've learned a lot. I've learned philosophies of modalities from 2 different people that did NLP stuff, and I've learned different techniques and ideas from other people. And I kind of just try to mold it into what I think works for me. And so that's what I love, is that I'm always learning. And no matter how old you always are learning. You're always learning a better way of doing things, because somebody will come up with you with some unique thing like, oh, okay, let's see. and you kind of move forward and create something. So that's my whole point. If you didn't have variety, you didn't learn, your life would be so boring.
Yeah, it would be. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, and it's important that people realize there are possibilities. Now, you talk about life, past regression of life. You do that, and some people don't believe in that. I believe in it, but I've never done that past life regression process.
It's you don't have to believe in it. It's very powerful. It's something that is not recommended for healing, except sometime it is necessary. But most of the time, we can find your limiting belief and all this stuff now, But there's some people that really want to go see, and we find things that are pretty amazing. But I've done a lot of that in the past. Like, I worked with a guy. I was in Guatemala and did some past life regression that was insane, where actually took you, and I was in those past life where I am today, like just like I am here today. It was so real that there's no denial. I've done other ones that are guided and you can see little things, but it's not as powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a part of it. But once you have a full on, your fear of death is gone, because there's more to it. And that's the biggest thing. It's like, I think somebody that's really strong in their religion can have also that, no fear of death. Like my grandmother, totally Christian, like church every weekend. I was a kid. If we didn't go to church or there was nobody coming because they didn't have a car, we had to watch it on TV. It was so painful for a 3-year-old to watch church on TV. So
I would think so.
it was the old TV, black and white, and you got to sit there.
Yes. And there's no remote.
But the thing is, it made her strong in her belief. And so she never fell apart when there's people dying around her or really sick, because she had that strong thing. But there's ways to do it. There's different connection you can have that make you strong in your belief system. And not believing in past life, it's fine. I have a lot of friends from India, which they totally believe in it. Their belief is a bit different because they believe they can come back as animal and whatever, that other thing. But we all have our thing. And that's why I studied so many different religions, to kind of see what's the connection, what's the things we have in common, even though it seems so different. when you go back in it, it's so similar in our connection to community creation.
Yes, it is. And sometimes, you know, when someone's in the hospital and they're in a coma, connecting them obviously is very difficult. And when you're talking to them, you can reach them. They do hear you. And it's amazing what will happen when you're trying to talk to somebody, because personally for me, my brother and I worked in the same industry for a little while. I was a lot younger than he was, and we were both part of Still the One campaign, which is it was an ABC promo for all the shows. All of a sudden, you know, in this hospital room, that song that doesn't play very often at all these days, Still the One, came on. And all of a sudden I just started talking about Still the One, the campaign and everything else. And I got him to mouth words, and he said, "I'm okay."
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
That's pretty powerful. It's really, it just floored me. And when I told his wife, she goes, he talked to me. And it was like, it was me that he talked to.
That's pretty cool.
Because I tied into something that we both experienced that was fun. And later on, of course, I was in tears. But it was a unbelievable moment that you can touch somebody spiritually and get them to talk to you when they're in a coma.
Yeah, in America, we kind of deal with death a different way than the old days or some places. We have to, and that's why I tell my clients to be there when somebody close to you is hospital dying, or be there, because it's a special moment. It's what I call return home. It's like a rebirth, and then when you're present and you connect, you'll feel the presence. You'll feel what's going on, and it's very, very powerful. That's why I was so involved at one point to be there. And it helps the healing. It does, right? It's so powerful, the connection, but people are so scared of it.
Yes, they are.
They have to learn, be there. We're all going to be there. We're all going to get there. The sad part is when somebody's young. They didn't have a full life.
Yeah.
But when you get to people that are older, then they had a life. Then you can embrace and celebrate their life while you're there, right? And everybody that's done it just agrees how powerful and beautiful it is.
It is.
You got to take away the fear when dealing with this.
Exactly, and celebrate it. Well, what is your offer for my audience today?
I think I gave you the free Wheel of Life.
Yes.
And the Wheel of Life is when I work with vision, a lot of people, they say, well, I can't even envision tomorrow. How could I vision 5 years or 10 years? So I use this for a kickstart to start to visualize. I have one here. Hold on. I have my big one here.
Yeah, I do vision boards with people too. So
this one here is a quick exercise. They have the sheet. So it's called the Wheel of Life. There's different area of your life we talk about. We number it. And anybody that wants, they can do on their own, but I can also do for free a little half an hour to 45 minutes to explain all the areas. What do they mean to you? And when we color it, it doesn't look like a wheel because it's looked like all the. And then what can you do the next 3 months? So it's a 3 months look ahead, and it's supposed to be done every 3 months for a while. But it kind of kickstart your mind in looking in the future, even though it's only a 3 months. And I love doing that exercise, but keep people realize where they are today. Like,
exactly.
And
so
it's fun.
And they're forecasting 3 months at a time, so it gets them to push and grow with it. So yeah.
So when we do the exercise, I explain more in detail, and I do it for free. Same if somebody wants to do a call, when you go on my jeanlucalaire.com, there's a 30-minute call, and it's what I call a strategy call. It's not a sales call, it's a strategy call. Where you at in your life, what you need. Even if I'm not the fit for you, I know so many different coaches that could help you or just give you some notes that could be good for you. And that's
now,
all.
Would you spell out for the radio audience your last name?
Allaire, Allaire. That's totally French.
I know. So John is, Jean in English.
Jean, it's Jean-Luc. For some reason, the French people decided to put Jean in front of every name. So you got Jean-Claude Van Damme. Everybody knows Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Jean-Luc, Jean-Charles, Jean-Guy. I don't know why they did that, but I ended up with one of them. So Jean-Luc.
It's a beautiful name, actually.
I always know when I talk to somebody from the state, if they say Jean-Luc properly, they're a Star Trek fan. They're Trekkies.
Yeah, I am a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, Jean-Luc
Also a
Picard.
Star Wars fan.
Well, there's no Jean-Luc. There's no Jean-Luc in Star Wars.
No. No, but I am a Star Trek fan, and yes, I saw the old originals a lot. But anyways, by the time I came around, they were repeats, actually. So, well, that is a wonderful offer, Jean-Luc. And would you be a guest again on my show? I'm sure we can delve into a lot of different things.
Oh my God, we could do so much. We got so much that we can talk about. It's a lot. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So will you be a guest? Yes or no?
Yes, I'd love to be back. Love being here.
Okay, so please stick around. So we may have some time for closing remarks.
Thank you.
Okay, I really do think we'll have time. So I want you guys to remember, I do revitalize your life by helping you work on your health and mental clarity by correcting your gut. And I guide you to clean, toxic-free foods, high-quality nutrients that will actually help you reduce your symptoms. You'll feel better and possibly release some weight. Who knows? And it will uplift your mood. Plus, with my coaching, I obviously have weight release coaching as well, but my mindset coaching, I help you release stress, reduce your emotions, and I also help you cut that attachment to the entanglements of the past. Your mindset would be strengthened and your body would be more efficient. And you can ask me about my programs on my complimentary consultation button of my link tree, which is Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLives, as in Victor, ES.com/linktree, LINKTREE. And when you do that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I guide you to optimal health. And on this site, you'll also see my programs and services. These are only 3 of them. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you're going to be using a new version of you and an avatar board that will help you to succeed. All the coaching is done on Zoom, and the first one's private to you, where we will be going over your health. You have 2 different meal plans to choose from, and I give you directions on one of them. And I give you instructions how to create that new version of you in an avatar board that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation and all your goals. The rest of the coaching will be celebrating your wins. And also, I'll be helping you getting over your gaps with mindset and health tips. And you will become a new you. You get more details on this program on the show button of my link tree from the Holistic Self-Love Show. And Why Fast is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and turn, boosts your metabolism with high-dense nutrition and high-quality nutrients, exercises, and recipes. Here you would ask me questions. If you think you need some coaching, I do have some 2- and 4-week programs to get you going on that. And of course, I offer mindset and also optimizing weight coaching that you can start off with those small programs just to see how it works. But if it's going to be more ongoing, you'll be saving some money to get one of the bigger programs. And my services are on the site as well. And I prefer to do the Zyda scans, the body scans, and I have a Zyda link because I can do it remotely, internationally, and I actually sent one to South Africa. Zyda link is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds and it's only looking at blood flow for components of emotional, functional, and energetic and different body systems and lifestyles. It creates a wellness report, not a diagnosis, of biomarkers out of range and products and services that will bring them back into range. And I do review it with you because it's quite intensive. The actual Zyda link costs $50. If you move forward with my programs or my products, you get a $25 discount on one of them. And the Zyda link is already in a discount package where you can get 5 scans for the price of 4, saving $50. People are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan, and you'll be too. So get your Zyda link soon. And for a limited time, I am offering Debi's coaching chats, which is a complimentary coaching session. It's a 30-minute coaching session in an intimate group setting. It's not recorded, where a survey picks topic. You can learn how to optimize your health, release weight efficiently, ways to release stress and emotion, how to harmonize your hormones for body balance, as well as creating a winning mindset and utilizing that winning mindset to optimizing your health and weight transformation, and also how to create that new version of you in an avatar board that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve all your goals through your health and weight transformation. You can do that too. These sessions are on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you need to be registered for it. And that's at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives, as in Victor, ES.com/chats, CHTS. Finally, learn more about alternative health, as well as programs, products, and services, promos, events, and upcoming shows by subscribing to my newsletter. And that again is at DebiChangesLives.com, but this time is /radio and TV show, all in lowercase. And you'll be getting a gift of a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitudes, your thoughts, feelings, emotions, the foods that you ate, the water you drank, the nutritional products you took, the exercises you've done on a daily basis, and record your measurements. You want to review this on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them, and see your gaps that you need to work on. And if you need help bridging your gap, utilize me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I know that you found this show educational and inspiring, especially with what we talked about today, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my programs, products, and services, and reach out to Jean-Luc for his services and his offers. And do we have some time for Jean-Luc to come back for closing remarks? So is there anything else you want to add?
The thing is, a lot of people, I tell them everybody needs a coach, right? A mentor or a coach. I always had some, and you need it. And I'm amazed how many people don't have that, and they have problems, and they just can't heal themselves or move ahead. So my question to you is like, where are you today, and where do you see yourself in 5 years? Is that going to be the same place? And if not, how are you going to get there? So you always need a coach, and it's important to look around. Every coach is going to give you a 30-minute either strategy call, which I do. It's more of helping you. Some of them do like a discovery call, and they're always free. If somebody's trying to charge you for a 30-minute just to get to know them, then they're the wrong coach.
They're the wrong coach. Exactly.
Talk to 3 or 4 people, and then see which one resonate with you. You need some coaches. The thing when you start usually is not as expensive, but as you move up and want to learn more and more, then they get more expensive because then you're getting in more defined areas.
And it's important that as coaches, we know the person that we're working with, because we may find that, that's why the complimentary consultation is so important. We may find that, so-and-so might be better for you.
Yeah, that's why I like to do a strategy. Like, okay, what do you need in your life? And that's what you need. Well, I might not be the right fit for you.
Exactly.
Right? And then I can give you a couple of names and then check them out. Or I could be the one for you, depending. And that's why strategy to me, I go first. What do you need? Where you at in your life? And then let's talk about it. And it's always fun. I love talking to people. I have meetings every day, like 3 or 4 new people to get that 30-minute talk. And it's always amazing. I love people's stories and connect with them and see what I can do to help.
Yes. And both of us can help you. And I mean, he's amazing. I got to admit that. So thank you for being on my show.
Thank you.
And so I just want to let you know that I enjoyed your interview, and we'll do this again. And so now I need to close it up. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.